Have you ever wondered if there's a hidden key in the Quran to unlock risk so vast? It goes beyond money, into peace, ease, and blessings you never even imagined. Most Muslims know about Surah Al-Waqi'ah or Surah Al-Mulk, but there's one short surah almost everyone overlooks, and yet it holds a divine formula straight from Allah for unimaginable provision. This surah is rarely spoken about, yet it contains a spiritual code, revealed not just for the rich or the pious, but for anyone who sincerely seeks risk with trust in Allah. And when it's recited at night, something shifts. The doors of ease open, struggles soften, risk flows from directions you never expected. In this video, we'll uncover this hidden gem, verse by verse, and show you how to say it tonight, with intention, and witness the power of divine risk unfold in your life. 1. Focusing on the rarely recited Surah Al-Lail and how most Muslims overlook its significance. Among the 114 surahs in the Quran, some receive more attention than others. Surah Yasin for hardship, Surah Al-Waqi'ah for rizq, and Surah Al-Mulk for protection in the grave. But hidden in plain sight is Surah Al-Lail, a short yet deeply profound chapter that carries an incredible spiritual formula for abundance. Despite its brevity and accessibility, the majority of Muslims rarely give this surah serious reflection, let alone recite it consistently. Surah Al-Lail is the 92nd chapter of the Quran, consisting of only 21 verses, yet it holds divine secrets about human effort, wealth, and the pathways Allah makes easy for His servants. Unlike longer surahs associated with rizq, Surah Al-Lail teaches us that risk is not just about action, it's about intention and alignment with divine truth. This surah goes beyond the material and speaks to the core of our trust in Allah's plan. One reason it is often overlooked is its simplicity. Its verses are short and rhythmic, making it a popular choice for young children memorizing Quran. But because it's so often taught at an early stage, its deep meanings can be missed as we grow older. We may memorize the words, but forget the message. Allah opens doors of risk not only through effort, but through generosity, purity of heart, and spiritual conviction. Surah Al-Lail draws a clear contrast between two types of people: those who give and fear Allah, and those who hoard and deny goodness. What makes it so powerful is that Allah promises to make the path of ease easy for the first group. In this lies a hidden gem. The surah becomes a gateway, not just to risk, but to divinely assisted risk, the kind that flows without struggle, purely by the will of Allah. 2. Focusing on the divine oaths and spiritual power within Surah Al-Lail. One of the most striking features of Surah Al-Lail is how it begins with a series of divine oaths. Allah swears by the night as it envelops, the day as it shines, and the creation of male and female. In the Quran, whenever Allah takes an oath, it signals something of profound importance is about to be revealed. These oaths are not casual. They carry the weight of divine truth and command our attention. By swearing, by the night as it covers, wal-layli idha yaghsha, Allah draws our attention to the unseen, the quiet, and the concealed, reminding us that much of His wisdom and mercy works silently, behind the veil of what we can perceive. The night here represents reflection, hidden blessings, and the phase where risk can multiply without noise or recognition. Then Allah contrasts it with "and the day as it appears," wan-nahari idha tajalla, symbolizing clarity, action, and the unveiling of what was hidden. The alternation of night and day is not just a physical reality, it reflects the spiritual rhythm of life. Just as day follows night, ease follows struggle, and risk follows reliance on Allah. The third oath, and by He who created the male and female, wa ma khalaqa ad-dakara wal-untha, reminds us that Allah is the designer of opposites, balance, and order. Risk too follows divine balance, not just effort, but also surrender. These oaths are more than poetic. They serve as a divine prelude to a promise. They prepare the heart to understand that what follows is not a motivational speech, it's a spiritual law. Through these oaths, Allah sets the tone. He is in control of the universe, and therefore the flow of risk as well. 3. Focusing on Allah's promise of risk in Surah Al-Lail. At the heart of Surah Al-Lail lies a divine promise, a guarantee from Allah to ease the path of those who align themselves with certain values. In verses 5 to 7, Allah says, "As for he who gives and fears Allah and believes in the best reward, we will ease him toward ease." Quran 92:5-7. These verses are not vague spiritual advice. They are a formula. Allah lays out 3 simple yet powerful conditions: give, have taqwa, and believe in the best outcome, which scholars interpret as ultimate reward from Allah, both in this life and the hereafter. When a person lives by this formula, Allah Himself takes responsibility for making their path smooth and filled with barakah. The term used, nuyassiruhu lil yusra, we will ease him toward ease, is extraordinary. It doesn't just suggest success, but divinely assisted success. That means Allah will not only bless your rizq, but also remove obstacles, open hearts, and create opportunities where none seem to exist. What's profound is that this promise is not tied to how much a person earns, but how much they trust and give. Risk here is defined by a state of divine facilitation, not just accumulation. Even if your material income seems average, the quality, impact, and sustainability of that risk become extraordinary. On the flip side, verses 8 to 10 warn of the opposite path: withholding, denying goodness, and turning away from the truth. These individuals are promised a path toward hardship, not as punishment alone, but as a reflection of their inner resistance to divine generosity. This section of the surah teaches us that risk is not random. It's promised, patterned, and personal, depending entirely on how we relate to Allah's guidance. 4. Focusing on the secret spiritual formula in Surah Al-Lail. The brilliance of Surah Al-Lail lies in its unveiling of a timeless spiritual formula, a sequence of inner qualities and outward actions that unlock divine ease, barakah, and risk. This formula, embedded within a few concise verses, connects 3 essential traits: giving generously, fearing Allah, and believing in the best reward. Each of these isn't just a good deed, it's a powerful spiritual key. First, he who gives signifies more than just charity. It reflects a heart that isn't chained to wealth, status, or possessions. This detachment allows blessings to circulate freely without spiritual blockage. Giving, especially when it's difficult, is a declaration of trust in Allah's promise to replenish what's spent in His path. Second, fears Allah, taqwa, means living with conscious awareness of Allah in every moment. It disciplines the ego, purifies intention, and creates alignment between our choices and divine will. A person with taqwa becomes a magnet for unseen support and protection. Third, believes in the best refers to unwavering conviction in Allah's mercy, reward, and justice. This is the kind of faith that drives a person to act without fear, because they know Allah never lets goodness go unrewarded. Together, these qualities form a spiritual equation: generosity plus God consciousness plus positive expectation, divine facilitation. And this facilitation isn't ordinary, It's a tailored ease from Allah, unique to each person's circumstances. When these qualities are activated together, the doors of risk don't just open, they pour, not only in terms of wealth, but in time, health, ideas, relationships, and emotional stability. This is the secret formula Surah Al-Lail offers to anyone willing to embody it sincerely. Through it, Allah promises not just rizq, but rizq with rahmah, and a life guided by divine favor. 5. Focusing on why this surah works spiritually, especially when recited at night. The timing and spiritual context of Surah Al-Lail are essential to unlocking its full impact. While its message is universally relevant, the night, when this surah is typically recited, adds a deeply intimate and transformative layer to its effect. The name itself, Al-Lail, the night, signals that it is meant to be understood and felt during the stillness of the night, when distractions fade and hearts are more receptive to divine truths. In Islamic tradition, the night is a sacred time. It's the moment when the world sleeps, but the lovers of Allah rise, whether in tahajjud, quiet reflection, or whispered du'as. The Prophet ﷺ would often rise in the last third of the night, and it is during this time that Allah descends to the lowest heaven, offering forgiveness, mercy, and the acceptance of prayers. Reciting Surah Al-Lail at night aligns the soul with this divine moment, enhancing the spiritual effects of the surah's message. This surah also speaks directly to the inner self. It invites reflection, correction, and a sincere turning toward Allah. When recited at night, away from worldly noise, the believer can truly feel the weight of its message, especially the contrast between ease and hardship, light and darkness, giving and withholding. Moreover, the night has always been associated with secrets, hidden blessings, quiet moments of clarity, and spiritual openings that do not occur during the day. That is why saying this surah at night becomes more than just an act of worship. It becomes a spiritual alignment with divine order. The believer who recites Surah Al-Lail at night with understanding and sincerity doesn't just read words, they open a portal to rizq, guidance, and inner peace in a way that only the quiet of the night can unlock. So tonight, take just a few minutes to recite Surah Al-Lail with a heart full of trust. Watch how Allah opens doors you never even knocked on. Rizq isn't far. It's waiting for your sincerity. If this touched your heart, like, share, and subscribe to Intellect Deen for more powerful reminders rooted in the Quran and Sunnah. Before you go, comment this beautiful dua below. Ya Allah, make my rizq vast, pure, and filled with barakah. May Allah grant you more than you ask, and ease in every step of your journey. Ameen.